Proud to serve Western Indiana and Eastern Illinois, this is WTHI-TV 10, the news station. Now, live, Marla Keller, Tom Christopher, Kevin Orpert, and Mike King. This is Action 10 News.
The closing of the JI Case plant in Terre Haute has most local officials angry, but unable, to do anything about the situation.
But one local congressman is bringing the power of his office to bear to try and stop Case from leaving. It's our first report tonight, more than 24 hours after JI Case officials first announced their plans to close their Terre Haute plant. Lawmakers are fighting for a reversal. Congressman Frank McCloskey says he's appalled that a company partially owned by a country hostile to the United States is taking jobs away from Americans.
I would hope that my bill or my resolution passes in about a week and we can have significant legislation otherwise passed to avoid such problems in the future.
McCloskey is sponsoring legislation to ensure future defense contracts don't wind up in unfriendly hands. Since last year, JI Case has lost $23 million in contracts to Fiat of Italy, which is owned in part by Libya.
While JI Case employees wait for the plant's doors to close, many wonder if any new business will come in to replace the lost jobs. Economic groups like the Alliance for Growth and Progress say they'll continue marketing the Terre Haute community. At the same time, the Western Indiana Private Industry Council will try to help individual workers.
Expanding, Sony obviously is going through a rapid expansion at digital audio disc. So there are some job opportunities in town, and it's going to be largely, I suspect, a matter of individual preference and individual finances, how long somebody can hold out looking for a job.
One local employment official estimates Terre Haute's unemployment rate will rise to 10% once Case closes. Speaking of losing jobs, Crane's Naval Weapons Support Center hopes it won't lose 800 civilian jobs. The Department of Defense wants to contract out work to private contractors. Next Wednesday, an Armed Services Committee will investigate whether the DoD can legally contract out the work at Crane.
Would be disruptive to the national security, be more expensive for the federal government, and really put a lot of deserving employees and their careers and what is their just desserts up in the air.
Action 10's Kathy Klepak will travel to Washington next week to cover that Crane hearing. She'll have a full report Wednesday on Action 10 News at 6.
A murder suspect is expected to take the stand Monday. Steve Allen is charged with the September 1985 murder of Gerald Griffith. Griffith's body was found in a shallow grave in Lewis, Indiana. Allen told Sullivan County authorities that he killed Griffith in self-defense. The prosecution rested its case today. Only one more alternate is needed for the jury in the trial of 19-year-old Thomas Odell. Odell is accused of slaying 5 family members last November in Mount Vernon. The trial was moved to Richland County on a change of venue. Jury selection should be completed on Monday, then opening statements will be scheduled to begin.
An accident just a half hour ago at 11th and Ohio in Terre Haute has sent one woman to the hospital. This was the scene. We'll see this in just one second. Just a little while ago, details are still sketchy, but police say this car was hit from behind and flipped over. Again, one woman had to be taken to the hospital.
Still to come on Action 10 News tonight, Kevin Orpert is back from his fish fry tonight. He'll tell us if the nice weather will hold out through the weekend.
Sports, the Celtics will have a few more days off. Thanks to the action tonight in Philadelphia, Mike King will take you there.
And Action 10, Illinois Bureau Chief Kevin Ash says happy birthday to an Illinois town.
The town of Palestine, Illinois is passing a milestone. This month, the town begins celebrating its 175th anniversary.
Action 10's Illinois Bureau Chief Kevin Ash has this look at the community and residents there.
It's a town of 1,700.
Why do you like living here?
Well, it's a small town, and there's just a lot of friends and a lot of people around here.
This is Palestine, Illinois, the pioneer city. Over the next several months, the town will celebrate its 175th anniversary, 175 years of history. Palestine is considered the oldest town in Illinois. In fact, it was a town before Illinois was even a state. Founders laid this town out in May of 1888, and it wasn't until December of that year that Illinois finally became a part of the United States.
Well, I was born in a small town.
Well, it's a nice, quiet town. Small town, quiet, clean, no smoke.
In 1812, Fort Lamont was built here to protect residents from hostile Indians. And in 1830, Abraham Lincoln is said to have passed through. As for today, those living here now are happy on what Palestine offers and wouldn't dream of leaving.
Used to daydream in that small town. Another boring romantic, that's me.
Kevin Ash, Action 10 News, Illinois Bureau, Palestine.
Action 10 News wishes a happy anniversary to everyone in Palestine. Kevin is back from his fish fry party tonight at the Devaney School.
He says the weekend looks pretty good all the way around. He'll explain that after this.
Mom, thanks to you, I married Ed.
Instead of Fred.
Happy Mother's Day.
Say it with elegant roses from Kroger, America's largest florist.
Thanks, Mom, for letting me keep the puppy. Happy Mother's Day.
Say it with a beautiful floral arrangement.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. You're the best. Best grandma, too.
Say it with a fresh spring bouquet. See the difference this Mother's Day. Go Krogering.
1947, Donald.
Laurie Rose, 116.338.
How's he do it?
How? The official Indy 500 Trivia Cup from McDonald's. Every winner and his average speed are right here. Get your 32-ounce cup filled with Coca-Cola at McDonald's for only 79 cents.
1969, Donald.
Mario Andretti, 156.867.
Maybe your name should be McDonald Davidson.
Why's that?
First, we have HNO, PPY, and PPP.
Confused by all those money-saving health plans?
And budget care, cheap care.
Which one should you trust?
Care, loving care, caring care.
Now there's a range of money-saving alternatives from the most trusted name in health insurance, the new health care from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Indiana. So don't let them confuse you.
Now listen carefully, it starts getting complicated. Because
ask for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Indiana. We invented health insurance again.
Yazoo is known for quality in all their products. And now Yazoo offers a free Yazoo trimmer valued at $169.95 when you purchase a Yazoo front cutter rider, a Yazoo big wheel, or Yazoo front or rear tine tiller. This is a limited offer, so hurry to your nearest Yazoo dealer. Get your free trimmer now.
Available at Lawn & Garden Tractor, West Terre Haute, and Seaver Small Engine, Sullivan.
Detection of occult blood, which means hidden blood in the stool, has been around for a long time, and it's in the more recent years that convenient ways of packaging the test have been made available so that it can be done on a home basis, safe for the patient, safe for the doctor. The important thing then is to detect the tumor before it has a chance to spread to other organs.
Ask your Hooks pharmacist for your free test kit and take the test.
It just seems a rule of nature that when you have more than one thing to concentrate on, it's hard to give each thing the attention it needs. That's why at the Terre Haute Savings Bank, we've chosen not to get caught up in the mergers, acquisitions, and expansions that have distracted so many banks today. Instead, our focus is still where it's been for more than 100 years, on being a good bank for you in this community. Terre Haute Savings Bank. Our interest is here with you.
Kevin is back from his party. You had an excellent turnout last night at your Hallie's Comic
Oh, yes.
Party.
Everywhere you go, there's a
I
crowd.
didn't know what she was talking
Not
about.
that hard a question.
No, I did. I had a great time. I want to thank a number of people. First of all, James Wallace and young James Hallie Wallace Jr., little bitty baby who showed up out there.
Hundreds of people showed up.
Well, oh, yeah.
Was the view good?
The view was excellent. A lot of people got to see the comet. And then afterwards, after the comet went out of view because it went down behind the trees, they turned the big telescope on Saturn. And some people were treated
See
to
the
a
rings?
very, the rings are tilted just so you can really see them very clearly in some of Saturn's moons. I want to thank the people out at Rose-Hulman for letting us come out, and also the engineering department here at TV10. We took the brand new Action 10 van out and really got a nice clear signal back here, so thanks to Glenn Cook and his crew for helping us out there. Well, all right, now let's talk about today. It was a nice day today, really. Not quite as warm as we've had the past couple of days, but still very pleasant. High today of 82, a low of 54. 1934 set the record high, got up to 90 degrees. In 1947, a record low of 29. Right now it's 68 degrees, the wind out of the east at 8 miles per hour. It was out of the east at 8 miles per hour at 6 o'clock, too, so not much change there. Relative humidity at 80%. Barometric pressure is holding steady at 30.05. No rain to tell you about yet in Wabash River. Now look at that. See, at 6 o'clock, the Wabash River was 13.1 feet. It has now dropped to 12.8. It's holding steady. So here's some river information for you. I know a lot of you farmers out there are really anxious to get out into the fields. And tomorrow looks like a pretty good day for that. The river should start to fall. Up in Montezuma, it should fall below 8 feet on Sunday. Clinton fall below 8 feet on Sunday. Terre Haute drop below 10 feet by Sunday. Now in Hudsonville, it'll probably drop below 15.5 tomorrow. And Riverton expected to crest at 14 feet on Saturday. So not really much of a problem with the river. Way down in the low bottomlands, you might have a little flooding, but for the most part, I think everything is going to be okay. That is, of course, unless we don't get any rain here, long about Sunday or so, we might have to talk about some rain. So we'll keep an eye on the river for you there. Brand new weather watcher. Had the pleasure of meeting him last night. He and his family drove over to our Comet party. Jason Malding from Casey was at a track meet all day. He said it was windy and really made a good point. He said it was a good day to get a sunburn because you really can't feel the intense rays of the sun because of the wind. So if you go out tomorrow, make sure you put some sunscreen on or something like that. It's partly cloudy right now and 68 degrees in Casey. Another mild night. Some clouds moving into Springfield, 68 degrees, 74 cloudy in St. Louis, 57 up in Chicago. We still have a nice 68 degrees here in Terre Haute. And a few of these clouds are moving in. Here you can see them start to move along. Keep your eye here in Iowa. There was a tornado touchdown reported near Des Moines, Iowa, about 8 miles southeast of Des Moines earlier this evening, about an hour ago. No significant damage reported out of that, but you can see these high clouds here. You take a look at the radar out of St. Louis, though, and you really don't see anything. Tom and I were talking earlier. It looks as if some light showers and so on are headed this way. It's possible that as this system you're going to see here on the national map, as it moves this way, a low pressure and some cooler air could bring the possibility, definitely, of more clouds tomorrow night, maybe even a shower or thunder shower Saturday night and Sunday. So your forecast for tonight goes like this. Mostly clear skies. A very nice night tonight, as a matter of fact. An overnight low of 50. Tomorrow, mostly sunny for the first day of qualifications. High about 80. Should be a nice day. Tomorrow night, though, more clouds come in. Maybe a chance for a thunder shower. A low of 60. And then the second day of qualifications, I don't know. Might be kind of iffy. Maybe some showers, a high of 80. Monday, partly cloudy, 85. Tuesday, 85 and partly cloudy. But tomorrow, no excuses. You got to get out and do the yard and garden work because it's going to be so nice, and you don't have any excuses because of the weather anyway.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Coming up on Action 10 News tonight, Mike King previews the first day of qualifications at Indy.
And in tonight's Health Watch, a report from Dr. Dean about poultry.
Construction workers in Brazil spent most of today clearing the way for an expanding business. They raised this abandoned house on the corner of State Road 59 and Craig Street to make room for a new medical office building. Family practitioners Dr. Kenneld Sproul and Jim Stevens say they just don't have enough room for their patients. They hope to open the new Brazil medical building in September. Well, everyone seems to be trying to change their habits from bad ones, we hope, to good ones, and that includes what people eat.
People are choosing chicken over red meat in an effort to cut down on fat. But as Dr. Dina Dell tells us in tonight's Health Watch, if it's not prepared correctly, it may not be healthier.
The hottest new trends in how we eat is the shift from beef to chicken. Although some cuts of chicken can be just as fatty as certain cuts of beef, chicken is now seen as a healthier alternative. Well, along with this trend are changes in how we cook chicken, and that could present a problem. There's a very serious stomach infection called Campylobacter, caused by a bacterium of the same name, that some feel may come from meat and poultry. Now, researchers at the Seattle Department of Public Health and University of Washington wanted to see how commonly this bacteria could be found in poultry and beef. When they went to chicken processing plants, they found that almost 60% of chicken carcasses were positive for Campylobacter. That's not as bad as it seems, because processing may help a little, because only 25% of chickens at the retail store were positive. Beef was much less commonly contaminated. One frightening aspect of all this is that almost 40% of samples were resistant to very common antibiotics, from ampicillin to tetracycline. These are the very antibiotics that your doctor would use if you came down with Campylobacter. And in this case, those antibiotics wouldn't work. The reason seems to be that antibiotics may be overused in chicken raising. All this need not be a problem as long as you take certain precautions, like keeping raw chicken juice from touching other foods, and most importantly, cook chicken thoroughly. You do not eat chicken rare. I'm Dr. Dean Adele.
Mike King's coming up next with the Indy 500 track report.
But first, today's markets. Today in the Chicago Board of Trade, corn up 1 3/4 at $2.49 even, beans up 5 1/2 at $5.41 even, wheat up 1 at $3.50 even, and oats up 1 1/2 at $1.18 1/2. In Indy livestock prices, hogs at $48 today, no test for steers or heifers. And in area grain prices, corn up 2 at $2.50, beans up 2 at $5.37, wheat up 1 at $3.81, milo down 5 at $3.95, and oats down 5 at $1.45.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 3.22, closing at 1789.43. Composite index rose 0.37, closing at 137.12. Amex up 0.44 to 272.97. Gold unchanged, and silver down 4 cents to $5.21.
Well, Mike, let me get this straight. You're pretty happy about the outcome of the 76er Buck game tonight because it gives the Celtics another day to relax.
That's right.
It?
And beat whoever you're going to get.
Whoever I serve up.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Celtics can use all this time to their benefit. We'll tell everybody why. The semifinal series between the Bucks and the Sixers will go to a 7th game. Tonight at the Spectrum, the Sixers took a 12-point, 62-54 lead at the half. That's not 12 points, that's 8. Then they blew away the Bucks in periods 3 and 4. Charles Barkley and Bobby Jones led the Philadelphia attack. And Sunday's game at the Mecca will decide which team will play Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. 126-108 the final. The series is now tied at 3-3. This afternoon at Wrigley Field, the Chicago Cubs came back after trailing 2-0 to tie the Padres at 2-2 in the 5th. But then watch San Diego's Kevin McReynolds put the game away in the 7th inning. McReynolds caught a Rick Sutcliffe fastball on the fat part of the bat and sent it sailing into the left center field bleachers. Goodbye. That was good for 3 runs, and the Padres go on to win today 6-2. Here's a check of all of the Friday night Major League action. It was Los Angeles losing to Montreal 8-4. Philadelphia hangs on to beat Atlanta 7-6. Other scores from the National League tonight: Cincinnati loses to New York. The Mets have now won 17 of their last 18, 2-1 tonight. Houston 3, Pittsburgh 2. Other scores from the American National League, rather: San Francisco, St. Louis 1-1 in the 10th. That ball game now over, I believe. San Francisco rather leads it in the 10th, 2-1. In the American League tonight, Chicago leads Cleveland 4-3. It's in the 9th. Kansas City beat Baltimore by 3. Other scores from the American League: Texas, New York postponed because of rain. 8-7, Minnesota leads Detroit. That ball game is in the 7th. 3 other games tonight. They're just underway. 3-1, Seattle, Toronto in the 2nd. Also in the 2nd, Boston leads Oakland 4-0. One other game in the American League tonight: Milwaukee, California 1-0 in the 2nd. High school baseball scores tonight. 2 of them to show you. Owen Valley beats North Central 11-8. Sullivan over Montezuma 12-0 in a rout. In college baseball, Indiana State blasted visiting DePaul today at Sycamore Field, and this one was over in the 1st inning of play. State came up with 8 hits in the bottom of the 1st, including 2 doubles, a triple, and home runs by Dan Roman and Paul Fry. They were back-to-back. They scored 10 runs and went on to beat DePaul 14-2. The Sycamores go to 39-17 on the season. Paul Quinzer picked up his 10th win of the season on the mound for the Sycamores. And a couple of ISU football notes tonight. First, head coach Dennis Rates got a commitment today from Marshall High School running back Tim McConkey. He's 5'11", 170, and was a 3-year starter at Marshall. And standout quarterback Jeff Miller has been named as the winner of this year's Hillman Award. The award goes to the athlete that combines athletics and academics and excels in both.
Miller, a starter for 4 years, will graduate tomorrow with a double major and a grade point average of 3.89.
This is the Indianapolis 500 Track Report, brought to you by Cardinal Telecable and Cable Brazil, your satellite experts, Fort Harrison Villa, MAB Paints, Merchants National Bank, Pepsi-Cola, Supreme Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Sycamore Chevrolet Nissan.
Day one of qualifying for the 1986 Indianapolis 500 gets underway tomorrow. We'll fill you in on the weekend schedule, and Bob Forbes will talk with Bobby Rahal. That and more when tonight's track report continues.
If you have great plans for improving your home, then it's time to talk to Merchants National Bank about financing. Merchants makes great plans possible for room additions, new bathrooms and kitchens, sunrooms, patios, pools, any project you choose to make your home even homier. Whether you do it yourself or let someone else do it for you, Merchants has great loans. Loans to grow from Merchants National Bank. Your bank for life, an equal housing lender.
Staying cool for less. That's the Supreme way of air conditioning your home. Supreme Heating and Cooling are so sure that their Bryant high-efficiency air conditioner will do just that they'll pay all of your highest month's electric bill this summer after installation. And after the sale, Supreme will always be there with their 24-hour GPM service. Prompt, efficient service to add years of life to your Bryant air conditioner or any other model. So get all of your highest month's electric bill paid by getting a Bryant high-efficiency air conditioner from Supreme Heating and Cooling.
Well, as one of the fastest qualifiers for the 1985 Indy 500, Bobby Rahal is once again being mentioned as a possible favorite to win the pole position this year. Bob Forbes talked with Rahal about his chances.
This will be our fifth year here.
Time, right. And I think you were about, what, third fastest last year in qualifying?
Right, we were on the front row, and this year it's going to be a little bit harder. There's a few more Buicks, and I think they're going to, if they don't have problems, they should have pole, but...
Well, tell us about that. Now, you got the Buicks, and of course we got the Chevys, and most of them, of course, they got the Cosworths. Well, they're talking about a couple of Hondas. Is that just here for advertisement reasons?
No, I think Jeff Brabham will try to run the Honda, I guess. The Chevy engine, I think, is a very good engine, but it's in qualifying certainly it'll be strong. You know, in the race, it's a new engine, and I would think I'd be surprised if it ran the whole way without a problem. The Buicks, they get more boost than the Cosworths or the Chevy are allowed, and that's going to work. That's going to work in their favor for qualifying. But it's a, you know, there's a thing called a race, you know, and I think it's a little bit more important than qualifying. And I'd be surprised if the Buicks go the distance.
You've had some time in your new machine, haven't you?
So I'm not too much here. We tested here, or tried to test here for 2 days, and the weather didn't cooperate very much with us. But we have, I think, a fairly good understanding of the car, and there's more to learn. But you know, the Budweiser car is a good car, and I feel, you know, that we're going to be right in the thick of it.
Well, in just about 12 hours, the first car will take to the track for its 4-lap qualifying run, and the favorite at this point is Rick Mears. Mears has been the fastest driver during practice runs all this week, recording an unofficial 1-lap record of 214.694 miles per hour. The fastest drivers during today's practice were Mears, Mario Andretti, and Bobby Rahal. Now, if you're headed for the track tomorrow, here's the schedule for the weekend, and a crowd of over 100,000 is expected. Now, gates open at 7 o'clock in the morning. They'll practice from 8 to 10:15, and qualifying begins at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, on Sunday, gates will open at 9 o'clock. Practice runs from 10 until 11:15, and qualifying starts at noon. If you're heading for the track, allow yourself plenty of time, and please be careful. We'll see you there.
This has been the Indianapolis 500 Track Report, brought to you by Cardinal Telecable and Cable Brazil, your satellite experts, Fort Harrison Villa, MAB Paints, Merchants National Bank, Pepsi-Cola, Supreme Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Sycamore Chevrolet.
A lot going on this weekend. You're going to be at the racetrack. Who's the first guy out?
Dick Simon will be out on the track first tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it. Chevy Furlan will have details tomorrow night. Okay. Join George Isley and Chevy Furlan this weekend for the Weekend Report. And it is also Mother's Day on Sunday, and we hope all the mothers out there have a very happy Mother's Day. Don't forget, your wife is a mother this year.
Yeah, all right. I'll remember that.
Write that one down.
Write that one down.
Yeah, to remember.
Okay.
Get the gift soon, Kevin.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Monday.